anybody who's taking part. Let's just see how we get on. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
I forgot to mention, so my name is Ruth Daniel, for those of you that don't know me. A lot of you do, but some of you don't. And I'm the chair for the Safer Neighbourhood Board for Kensington, Chelsea. And this is like our public meeting that we have. So we had one maybe 4 months ago, and that was around youth violence. And so we're having a second one in collaboration. Yeah. So I'll let Lucy, Vice Chair, speak as well.
Sorry, I will be very brief because I really hate public speaking. But I just want to say that I'm the chairman of the Community Monitoring Group, which a lot of you probably don't know anything about. But it's basically about us monitoring stop and search figures, which sounds very boring. But we're a little bit different, our CM group, because we take the groups out to the youth clubs, to you, all of you people, and we get the police to talk to the kids and talk about their experiences with stop and search. And you can see it from the police's side, and the police can see it from your side. And this is another exercise of trying to make the situation better between the police and young people, that being understanding. And today, we're bringing it into the arena of awareness of gun and knife crime. And actually, this all came about because Abdurrahman and I were sitting next door to each other at a Safer Neighbourhood Board meeting, and Abdurrahman came up with the idea, let's play with the police and the young people. And that, here we are now. I can't believe it, our 4th one. But anyway, everybody, welcome, and let's have a fantastic evening.
All right, thank you. So the first person that's going to be doing a presentation for us today is Chris, and he's from HEMS. So I'll let him take over, and yeah, thank you. Could we all give him a round of applause, please? Thank you.
That's me done. I can leave now. So hopefully, if we can select the screen. Fab. Ladies and gents, good evening. As Ruth kindly said, my name's Chris. I'm a paramedic with London's Air Ambulance, and I'm joined this evening with some of my colleagues who are lurking at the back there. They're not going to get away with coming up the front because they're going to help us in. We've got a little bit of a practical window in a second. But I just wanted to look at the reason that we're here today, the reason that the collaboration with the Safer Board, and why. A bit louder, is that all right? Sorry. It's my Britain's Got Talent voice, I'll stand by. Why we're here, what's the reason for us standing in front of you today, and why this is so important. It's now not going to phase through. Let's just do it manually. Let's do it manually. There we go. So why are we here? These are faces of young people that over one weekend were injured through a bladed weapon attack or something that involved a firearm in a period last year. This is not, thankfully, this year. I then did a bit of reading and talking to colleagues around actually what is happening across London. So not just within RBKC, but London. That was one weekend of just me screen grabbing stuff off of the social media and off of news. You know, it's a real relevant situation for us, definitely from a HEMS point of view, and my colleagues within London Ambulance Service. This is something we go to regularly. And when I say regularly, about 46 times a day, roughly speaking. So within the Met, and I don't want to take the stats away from our policing colleagues, but about 16,000 incidents a year involve bladed weapons or firearms. In RBKC, it's about 10% of that. It's about 1,600 cases. There's about 46 cases across London that our colleagues respond to. So it's a real thing. And actually, what we want to talk about today is about actually what happens and how we together can work to help that person that might be affected by it. So what are the statistics? You should all have a paddle on your chairs. So how many people right now know exactly where they are? Put your paddle up if it's a yes or a no. Who knows exactly where they are? Brilliant. Keep your paddles up if you're yeses. Yeah, keep your paddles up. That's everyone. Everyone should have a paddle on their seat. How many people know the postcode of where we are right now? Okay, so we've got some no's, some yeses. How might you find a postcode super quick? If we need an ambulance here, the postcode's a really good way of doing it. If we didn't know it was the Westway Sports Centre, how might you find a postcode? How might you find a postcode? How would you do it? Shout out nice and loud. Yeah, with your phone. How would you use your phone? You're a bit young to have a phone, to be fair, but you've got a phone, that's fine. How would you do it? Brilliant, excellent. So you can drop a pin on Google Maps, you can get a postcode. 10 points straight away. You probably won the football match, to be honest with you. That's amazing, good. Absolutely. Now, not everyone is as switched on as a little person here that might not know exactly. So we've got a method of sending a text message to your phone in a secure manner that gives us the location of where your phone is. Now, you might be able to do that just by looking around you and knowing the location you're at or the junction of two roads. I cannot stress how important it is to know where you are. Come down. Sorry, there's seats at the front, but grab a seat there. I can't stress how important it is to know exactly where that injured person is so that we can come to you quickly. So, being able to find it on your phone, or we send you that activation text message through a Good Sam application that gives us where your phone is, or knowing the building, or the name of the road or the junction is super important. Super important. It's all right, there's loads of space. Yes, have a seat. It's all right. So we are going to work together to manage an injury. So just for the purpose of this demonstration or this conversation, we're going to say that someone has had a bladed weapon attack and they've been assaulted and they've got a wound on their arm that's bleeding. There are three things that we need to achieve. Once we've worked out where you are, there's three things we need to do. And that's to apply pressure with an appropriate pad and ideally elevate the wound. Now, before we can do all of that, we've got to find the wound. Because actually it could be just a single wound, or it could be lots of them. There could be lots of blood, it might be dark. We might not be in a nice lit environment like this, so we've got to find where that wound is. Now, unfortunately, that means we have to start removing clothing or pulling stuff up, moving jumpers and that sort of thing. Now, obviously, that's a bit scary for the individual that's been assaulted, and also for those responding, it's quite difficult to just say to a complete stranger, I need to lift your top up, or I need to look at your leg or whatever. But we've got to find that wound. Now, we're in the middle of the street, literally in the middle of the street. What can we use for the pad to stop that bleeding? What options have we got available to us? Yeah, we're not necessarily going to talk about tourniquets as such, so we'll park that one for the second. But someone else said something else? A coat, yeah, maybe. Anything else? A T-shirt, absolutely, yeah. So something that's dry, ideally, or theirs, that's clean and not fluffy, because we don't really want to stick something that's fluffy, okay? So we need to get pad, we need to apply pressure, we need to elevate, which potentially means we've got to need to lay someone on the floor. Now, with our, you should all have one of these. Got one of these? Got one of these? Brilliant, right. We'll put the paddles up again. Who knows the person sitting to the left and right of them? Okay, well that's good. Okay. So those of you that don't, you're going to get to introduce yourself to the person sitting next to you relatively quickly in a minute, okay? And my colleague's going to drift forward. This is your cue, team. So drift forwards. So we're going to pretend, so we're going to look left and right. You're going to introduce yourself to the person sitting left and right. And one of you is going to pretend that they've been assaulted with a bladed weapon. They've got a wound on their arm. So the other person who's not been assaulted needs to very quickly work out where the bleed is. I'm going to give you a guess. It will be on the forearm. But what you're going to do is you're going to find something that is not fluffy, ideally clean, ideally dry. So that will be, if you've got your sports kit with you, something in your bag maybe, something that person's wearing. And you're going to apply pressure. You're going to elevate that wound. That's why I'm not doing a leg, because no one's falling on the floor. Okay? So pad pressure and elevation. And we're going to do it really super quick, okay? Because I know that none of you are competitive, clearly, or you wouldn't be here, okay? So this is a time drill, okay? So you've got 3 minutes to introduce yourself to the person sitting to the left or right of you, decide who's going to be injured, and then whoever's not going to be injured, find a pad, get some pressure, and elevate that wound on their forearm. And my colleagues around the room are going to help you and just give you some briefing, support you when you do it. Anyone not know what I'm asking them to do? No? Fine. Your 3 minutes starts right now. So we're looking for a pad. We're going to apply some pressure. We're going to elevate that nice and high. Okay? Nice and quick, because right now these people are bleeding. Right. Talk to each other. Yeah? Which one? Who's got the bleed? Who's bleeding? One of you's got to be, you're bleeding. Right, so both your arms are bleeding. So you're going to look after one arm and someone's going to look after the other. Great work. Good pad pressure and elevation. Right, let's get it up high. That's it. Brilliant. Yeah, use his t-shirt. Don't use yours. That's smashing. Nice and high if we can. Oh, I'll get out of the way. Sorry. That's good. Done already. Like, you are the star of the show. Look at that. Pad pressure, elevation, right up nice and high. Brilliant. Well done. Well done. You're all over it. Got some good pads going on. Yeah. We want pressure. So I want hands on, pushing hard, and right up nice and high if we can. Yeah, brilliant. That's spot on. Great. Yes, absolutely. And especially you've got your phys kit with you. You've got loads of things you can use. And if you've got a team, you might have a first aid kit anyway. Yeah, good. Excellent. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Get it up high. Absolutely. Now, if they're feeling a bit dizzy, they might sit down, but get that limb up nice and high. So pad pressure and elevation. Yeah, brilliant. Grand job. Yeah, look at that. Brilliant. Now, what you could do is get your hand on the dressing and apply more pressure where the wound is to stop. Yeah, so you've got to find it, get that pad on and squeeze hard. That's it. Spot on. Brilliant. Well done. All right, team. Excellent. Good. Too cool for school, clearly. I'm all right. It's all good. Fine. So rest and relax. Swap over nice and quick. But this time, choose where the wound's going to be. I told you where it was the first time round. Pick somewhere else. They've got to ask you, work out where it is. Oh, there's loads of blood, whatever. Same drill. Okay? Right. This time, you choose an injury. Where are you going to be stabbed? Where are you going to be hurt? What's bleeding? Where's it bleeding? Oh, that's bad. Right, go on then. Let's get some pad pressure and elevation on that. That's it. Big squeeze. And then nice and high. Nice and high. Yeah, well done. Brilliant. That's it. Spot on. Excellent. And then swap over. You've done it. Have you both done it? Super quick. That's brilliant. Can you get it up high, do you think? Or is it going to take your headdress off? Do you reckon you get it up? Do you get some elevation? Brilliant. The only thing is that you're kind of obviously a bit stuck with the patient, but that's great. Oh, brilliant. Well done. Brilliant. Oh, sorry. I keep running into you, dude. I'm sorry. Good. Bit more pressure. And that doesn't mean necessarily pulling his leg off, but actually get some pressure with your hand, apply it directly on the wound. That's it. Brilliant. Worst case scenario, you're going to end up on the floor and that leg needs to be up super high. Super high. Yeah. So just laws of gravity. It's going to slow that bleeding down. The clot formation is going to happen quicker. So pad pressure and elevation, that is spot on. That is spot on. And keep it there until we arrive. Brill. That's all right. No, you're fine. All right, ladies and gents, little people. Dude, well done. I know we've had a bit of fun, but thank you for your attention for what is probably longer and you want to get out and play football. Does anyone have any questions that you want me to cover off before myself and the team cut out of the way? Any questions? Yes.
Person gets shot in front of you.
Hold on one second.
Person gets shot in front of you, what do you do? Person gets shot in front of you, what do you do?
Great question. Now, I'm sure my policing colleagues would come in. No, Charlie's looking at me. So the question was, someone gets shot in front of you, what do you do? So I think probably the answer to the question is around your personal safety, and I'm sure Charlie would like to talk about that very briefly.
Well, the most important thing to do is to create space from yourself and the person with the weapon, and to take cover. And that cover might be cover from view so that someone can't see you. It's even better if it is cover from a firearm, and that can be quite hard to tell what is a safe thing to hide behind. But a big brick wall, behind the engine block of a car, something like that. But the first most important thing is to make sure you are safe, because you can't help anybody if you're also injured. And then you need to call for assistance before you do anything else. Now, obviously, if the area is safe, then you can start the first aid treatment, which Chris is going to explain to you. But that is the most important factor, is to keep yourself safe. Don't put yourself in danger trying to help someone else, because it will just end up in more casualties.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, absolutely. So once you know it's safe that you can look after that person, or you might have had to move that person to somewhere safe, it's a very similar system. Find a pad, get pressure, elevation. So if someone is conscious, although they've been shot, and they've got some respiratory problems, they've got some breathing problems because they've been shot in the chest, for example, you might want to keep them sitting up to start off with, because it'll help their breathing, and you can apply some form of pad and of pressure. If that person goes unconscious in front of you, they need to start chest compressions. Now, if you ring 999 and ask for the ambulance service and you tell them that someone's been shot in the chest, they will stay on the phone with you and they will give you instructions over the telephone. And if you're not sure what to do, you speak to the ambulance service. They're a call handler that will give you pre-arrival instructions, and they will talk you through CPR. They'll help you with advice around managing the catastrophic bleed that would happen if someone's been assaulted and they've got a big wound, but they can talk you through that. So if they're sitting up and still talking to you, pad pressure, you've got them in an elevated situation. If they become unconscious, they're not breathing normally, they're not responding to you, and they end up on the floor, then we're going to start chest compressions. Is that okay? Thank you very much. That's a great question. Team, just to this side, any questions at all? Is there anything I've said that needs clarifying? No one's put any paddles up? Okay, so just to recap, we're talking about your safety, and Charlie talked about creating... Oh, I've got a question. Yep. Absolutely not. Great question. So you've arrived really quick, and the knife is still in situ. Effectively, what you need to do is you need to apply some form of pressure, but you obviously can't do that on the end of the knife. That would be bad. I know that sounds logical, but it's best we just clarify that point. So the knife is still sticking in their chest. Effectively, you're going to apply pressure around that wound, so you need your pad, exactly like that, around where the knife is in situ, and see if you can promote the clotting like that. That could be in an arm, chest, leg, whatever. So you're applying pressure around it rather than at the end of it. Go for it. Yeah.
Being either a victim or bystander, will I be like referred to like any therapy for like if I get trauma?
Yeah, absolutely. So the victim support from a policing point of view is an amazing, robust system. So you'll get picked up in that system, and then if we come from a HEMS point of view, we would. I know this sounds a bit lame, but we'll give you effectively like a business card.
Okay.
You can access post-incident procedure therapy and support, because that might be a horrendous event for you and you might not be the person that's injured, but from a mental health point of view, you've seen all of that, you've helped with your friend, or it might be a complete stranger, so we'll do that slow time over the next 72 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question as well, thank you. Yes, of course, sir.
So when your cells turn up, or the paramedics turn up, what questions are you going to ask? So if I'm treating someone on the call, what are you going to ask me straight away when you turn up?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, Sir asked around what questions we would ask when we arrived. So effectively what we need to know is, when did it happen? I don't really need to know how big the knife is, if I'm honest here. I know lots of people will focus on it, and actually it's important slightly later down the line around the shape of the blade and length of the blade, but effectively the individual's been assaulted and we've got to make sure that we get them to the right hospital at the right, in the right time frame. So we just need to know when it was, and if they have become unconscious, for example, when did that happen? Because that will change how we treat the individual. So if they arrived and you saw it happen and you know when it happened and you called, we've got a timeline on when this happened, then it's really important that that information is retained and someone tells us. Now, ideally, if you know the person and they're not able to talk to us, their name, their date of birth, that would be great. But all I want you to do is know when it happened and manage that bleeding with pad pressure and elevation. Any other information, their name, their date of birth, phone number for their mum, whatever, that's collateral information that would be great, but actually the management of the bleeding and knowing when it happened would be super important. Thanks, sir. Yes, of course. Oh, sorry, take the mic.
So if you were in a group of people and someone was to be stabbed, if you stayed there and called the ambulance, would there be a chance that you would be arrested just for being there as well?
So that's definitely a policing question,
Yeah.
and I would refer that to my colleagues that are here. So I think Ruth was asking that if a group of individuals were on the street, one of them was injured, would there be a chance that if you stayed to assist the person that you would then be detained as part of that process?
Well, that's quite a difficult question to answer. I think what happens is the officers will go and their primary aim is to save life.
Hello, hello. Hello. So the officers, when they turn up, their primary aim is to save life. So officers have varying degrees of first aid training. So every officer is trained in a degree of first aid. If you get armed response teams turned up, they're generally trained to a higher level, and they'll carry oxygen and enhanced bandages that we would use. But their main aim is to save life. So actually, a person that's injured on the floor, that's their main priority, is to treat them and save their life. But there's also an element of being safe as well. So it may well be quite a difficult situation, quite chaotic, quite a lot going on, or there might be suspects that we don't know who they are or what's actually taken place. So a lot of that will be maximising safety of everybody. So everybody might be treated initially as a suspect or potentially involved. But actually, generally, if people are treating someone on the floor, it's quite clear that they know that person or they're trying to help. So generally, I'd like to think we don't treat everyone as a suspect, but we're very victim-focused at that point.
I'll pass it back to you, Chris.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you, that's really kind of you. And thank you to my team around as well. Good luck for those of you that are in the football competition. It's the wrong shaped board as far as I'm concerned, but that's okay. It's all right. Any of the rugby players here? But have a great evening, and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you. Good night.
No, we're not finished. We're not done. Hello? We have another... Sit down, sorry. We're not finished. We're not done. Okay. Yeah. So now we have FAS Amnesty coming to do a presentation for us. So if we can just give them a clap so they can come up. Thank you. I'll let you do. Do you want me to introduce them? Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name's Jane Richardson. I used to work in Kensington, Chelsea. In fact, had about 20 years in this borough, and I used to run the volunteer police cadets. Tariq is a good example of what, using the advantage of being a police cadet. And we're just here to help and support FAS Amnesty. My role now is I cover all the knife crime incidents across the whole of, across the whole of London, so I see a different perspective of what knife crime actually is. But I just actually want to tell you a little bit about opportunities, taking those opportunities wherever you are. Like, for example, I first met Tariq when he was 11 years old at Chelsea Academy. I approached him, tried to get him to join the police cadets. Nah, I want to be a pilot, Oh, all right, we'll see about that then. Persuaded him, and then he's literally not left my side since. And I would not be standing here right now, and we're talking about opportunities now, and I would not be standing here right now if it wasn't for Tariq. He literally saved my life was on a cadet camp. I fell into some water, head first. He was the last cadet at the back with me. He pulled me out of the water. We called an ambulance, and I am standing here now because of that. I then wrote to the Moroccan consulate to say that, you know, I think Tariq should have an award for saving my life. Next thing, Tariq and I are down in Chelsea meeting the Moroccan ambassador. And Tariq cheekily said, I'd like to take the idea of police cadets to Morocco. So I'm kicking him under the table, saying, don't be cheeky, you know, whatever. Anyway, literally about 2 or 3 months later, we was all on an aeroplane over to Morocco on the invitation of the King of Morocco. Now, that was just amazing. And we now know that they are setting up the idea of police cadets over in Morocco. So it's just amazing. It's opportunities out there, you know, that can happen. So, yeah. And now I've actually now moved on and gone on to different roles, and now I'm part of the knife crime team. And that's where I met Faz Amnesty, because I led on the... so every year they have like an amnesty. This year it was around the Ninja Sword scheme. So we asked people to, you know, hand in their ninja swords. And unfortunately, amnesties normally tend to happen when someone has actually been killed or murdered with a knife. But I don't know if... I'll introduce you to these guys in a minute, but I don't know if Tariq wants to say a few words.
Hello there, guys. Good afternoon. Just a show of hands quickly. I just wanted to ask a question. So my name's Tariq, and I'm a response police officer based out of Hammersmith Police Station. So I police Kensington and Chelsea, and Hammersmith and Fulham. I just wanted to ask you a quick question around the subject of knife crime. How many of you in this room, if you're happy to say, have had contact with police officers and have been stopped and searched by police? If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. We just wanted to show of hands. And how many of you through that interaction would say it was a positive interaction? Put your hand up if you're happy to say. Positive react. Would you say, again, this is a yes or no question, you were very well versed, or it was explained to you exactly why it happened? No? Okay, that's fair. I'll put my hand up, and I'll happily say that in the last 2 weeks being on response team, I've utilised stop and search quite proudly. I think it's a fantastic tool. But the way I do it and the way I see my colleagues do it is we ensure, especially myself, that when we utilise stop and search, the element that I think gets missed out a lot is if there's nothing found, why I stop and search you. And I always make it my paramount sort of responsibility to make sure that the person that I've detained and searched understands that reason. Because the reason why we're in this room is to prevent the serious case of someone losing their life to knife crime. And that, for me, is the paramount reason why I proudly use it. Now, I know and I understand that sometimes people are disgruntled, unhappy by that interaction that's occurred. They feel like they've been handpicked, certainly from other people who are walking around. And each situation has to be treated, obviously, with respect and with its own grounds and reasoning. But for me personally, having been born in this borough, having lived and gone to school in this borough, having had police contact throughout my childhood life, I don't have an issue with it, and I utilise it, and I proudly utilise it. And if there's any situation where a young person doesn't understand why they've been searched, and I'm on the end of giving it, then it's my duty to explain that. And I feel like sometimes you are within your right to ask that. But just remember, the only issue that I have when people want to understand is doing it respectfully, because we are duty bound to explain that to you. But I thank the Met for the opportunity it's given me. I've been in this job now for nearly 7 years. There's no other job in the world that I do. I've been in circumstances, like the paramedics explained, where I've had to give life-saving first aid to save a young person from being a victim of knife crime. And it's probably one of the saddest and traumatic things I've had to live through. Seeing, unfortunately, the situation that happens afterwards involving the young person, the impact it has on their families, their friends and the wider community it's very traumatic. But we have a responsibility, and I want young people to understand that the police are here to support you. We are here to protect you, and that this job has taught me that from a young age, and thankfully I've never been let down by it. So I am here, and I also want to extend my hand. The Met is running, if you're 18 and over, a ride-along scheme. I've done it with a couple of members of the community. If you do want to come and sit in the back of a police car with me and come out and see what we deal with on a daily basis, then the opportunity is there for you. Like we always say to each other, don't criticise something that you haven't had first sort of contact with and seen from our side of things. So this is our opportunity to extend our arm to you. And if you want to come out in the back of the police car with me and see what we deal with on a daily basis, then the opportunity is there for you. 9 times out of 10 people who come out with us realise, unfortunately, it is a very, very difficult job with a lot of challenges, but we try our best to deal with those challenges with everyone. And the more people that we have from the community to help us, the easier our job is. And please speak to me or my colleagues if you have any questions afterwards, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Evening, guys. Hope everyone's all right. Everyone all right today? All right. So, guys, listen, especially to all the footballers, yeah, I really, really want to speak to you lot, but I feel like it's something that's so important. Coming from a young person, your age, like, there's so much that you lot are going to go through in life. You don't even see it right now. But first of all, I'm going to introduce you to my colleague, Sadia. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to get into it, guys, yeah? Appreciate you.
So the first question is, just a show of hands, who agrees? Some of you haven't got paddles, that's why I'm going to ask for just the yeses or nos. So who agrees that the knife crime stats have gone down? I can't see my hand, sorry. So, okay, quite a lot of you are saying no, and some of you are saying yeah, okay. So according to the stats, okay, it's gone again. So knife-enabled offences has dropped by 5%. So that is in the last year. So that's with this current party in place. So that's with Labour in play. And then knife-enabled robberies has fallen by 8%. And then there has been an 18% decrease in knife-enabled homicides. So that's 6% decrease in knife-enabled assaults. And this is nationwide, not just London as well. So this is across the nation. And then the latest admissions to hospital has dropped by 10%. And I think that the last one is knife-enabled robberies has dropped by 10% as well. So that's the overall statistics that have come out in the last year. Now seeing that, can you see a difference in your areas and your neighbourhoods, knowing that the knife crime has dropped? No?
Guys, has anyone been personally affected by knife crime? Whether it's you or a family member or a friend? Interesting. I'm going to ask you all a question, and to me, I believe when you're younger, you may have a different answer. If you got into a situation where somebody pulled out a knife on you, would you run? Or would you fight? Who would run, put their hands up? Who would fight, put their hands up? So where's the in-between? What's happening there? Guys, listen, do you know what? You see, when it comes to this stigma of running, I feel like there's a lot of people that would run, but they're afraid to say they'd run. So, me personally, I don't think running's a bad thing. So I'm going to ask you that question one more time. Guys, think about it. Somebody's pulled out a knife on you. They're saying, give me your phone, and you've got a chance to run. Do you run, or do you fight? All right. All right. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to show you a picture, right? And what I want you to do is tell me what don't look normal on... It's going to come up now. But when you see this picture, guys, yeah, tell me what don't look normal on this human body. And there's no wrong answers. No wrong answers, nothing's offensive. We just want to know When you look at that picture, what don't look normal? Wait, all right, go on.
You got a skinny arm.
Okay, what else? Who else? Say it, nothing's wrong. Wait. Hey. Waist? What about his waist? Scarred up. So guys, what I can say to you is, when I was 18 years of age, I was in one of the best athletes in the whole of the country, right? And I'm a bit upset that London Ambulance Service left there, because guys, when I tell you, without London Ambulance Service, I wouldn't be here. That picture that you just saw there is the result of being stabbed 9 times in one occasion. And a lot of people might not understand what a brachial plexus injury is, and severe muscle wastage and delayed sensory analysis, but that's what it is. And guys, can you imagine getting up one day, and this is why I really want to speak to you footballers and understand something. Guys, if I said to you, what do you imagine prison being like? Go on, someone tell me one basic, come on, what does it feel like to be in prison? Pasta and mackerel, not nice, yeah? But guys, listen, too often when you think about being in prison, you think that you're locked in somewhere and you're incarcerated, right? And that's true. But guys, could you think about how it will feel to be imprisoned in your body? Now guys, when I'm talking about this football thing, you guys, your body's everything, yeah? And you don't realize it, but your ability to run, your ability to do skills, your endurance, your heart, you have something, yeah, that's special. And you could say it's beyond the average human. Guys, I'm telling you, from running for England to getting up one morning, not being able to move my hand, not being able to get up. I got a scar on my neck that goes from the top of my neck up here, all the way down my chest, all the way into my clavicle, guys, yeah? And I can promise you, when you've got to start thinking about tying your shoelaces with one hand, doing your jacket up with one hand, and you sit down and you think to yourself, my life's gone from being embraced by thousands to being very able and capable to then not being able to do normal things. And I say to you guys, honestly, yeah, you have to really take pride in your health. And that is going to be a result of the people you hang around with, the people you are around. Because guys, think about it, yeah? If you're walking down the road, and we all know this, yeah? Friends have got friends that do different things, and they respect that. You respect it, and they respect that you play football, right? But do you understand, when you're walking down the road with certain people, they're ops who they're going through differences with. They can't really differentiate between you guys, you know? Because as you see, you've got tracksuits on, you've got jackets, you've got hoodies on. And sometimes as well, when the police come down the road as well, and your friends are related to certain things, that everyone's getting stopped and searched. Do you understand that, guys, yeah? And things can really, really get out of turn. Guys, me having to get over what I went through, I'm not going to sit down and feel like, yeah, that's what propelled me into fighting against knife crime. There was a whole situation of mentally, emotionally, and physically trying to rebuild myself. And it never came with, I want to be the better person. It came with anger. It came with vengeance. Like, I wanted revenge. And this is why I had to really sit down and think to myself, when I'm speaking about my sisters, my children, and my parents, what does that immediate retaliation do for me and my family? And I realize it don't do much. So everything I do now, in terms of knife crime, is almost like me fighting against what happened to me. And I'd really encourage other people that if you do see your little brothers and your sisters, your cousins, your friends going down that route, try and get some help. But I'm telling you guys, yeah, when certain things happen in your life, there's not much you can do to go back from it. And guys, Does anybody know what a PYO is? A persistent young offender? Who? Well, that was me. Guys, I'll be so honest to you, yeah, and I'm not saying any of you are in certain troubles that you need to change, but you may know someone that is. And you really do need to understand the power of it's never too late to make certain adaptations to your life. Guys, like, I was a persistent young offender, and I was getting arrested, like, literally every weekend. I wouldn't even get bail. They'd put me straight to the police station. They'd hold me straight to Monday morning. And I just said, this ain't the quality of life that we need. And I really just said to myself, you know what? It's going to allow me to just really go and fight against knife crime how I wanted to. And guys, perseverance is key, because when I first started to do what I did with Faz Amnesty, I was met with a lot of resistance from the local authorities. They didn't really understand it. And it started from one day collecting one weapon at my daughter's party to now we've collected over 10,000 bladed articles, over 30 firearms, and we're now part of the government coalition, and we've done amazing work with the surrender scheme. You know, what I'm going to say to you guys is, when I started out in life, my relationship with the police weren't the best, you know, but just through growing up, circumstance and maturity, you know, it's gone on to grow an organization that's now recognized, and I believe it works hard with other organizations and local authorities to make our community safer. But guys, I really, really can't stress to you young people how important time is. While you guys are young, take all the opportunities you can. Once you get over certain ages, you're no longer the local authority's responsibility. You're no longer certain carers' responsibility. So guys, while the opportunities, the apprenticeships, the football programs are there, please take them, guys. I'm gonna pass you back over to Sadia, guys, just for a little question again, yeah? But guys, appreciate you.
Just if you take a look at the screen, it gives you all the illegal to own weapons that anyone has. So if anything on the screen that you have that is illegal, that they are there. Huh? My bad. They are legal to own. So if you didn't know, as of September, just in 2024, the zombie knife. Right, my brain's gone dead. The ban on zombie knives came in, and that's when they extended the possession order to 4 years, and that includes anyone in the household. So not only you can get prosecuted, but if it's in the home that your mum, your dad, or your carer, or whoever it is, pays the rent that is their home, they can be prosecuted as well. So they can be prosecuted as well. So just keep that in mind, because it is repercussions of your actions can implicate your parents. That could also lead down to losing housing and becoming homeless, so that can just have a ripple effect of anything that goes on. So supplying and selling is 2 years in prison. That used to be 6 months, so that has gone up as well. And then you got the threatening someone with a knife is 4 to 6 years, longer obviously if anything else is, any harm is taken onto them.
So guys, I know a lot of the knives you see online right now that's getting banned are the really massive ones with serrated edges. And I think a lot of people make the common misconception that if the knife's small, that it's legal. Guys, any single knife that locks into a fixed blade is illegal. So in that epoxy resin, we've given you a few little examples of the knives that you would get into trouble for. So guys, don't get caught out, yeah? Jane?
What, Jane?
Oh yeah, guys, listen to this, yeah? I'm so sorry. So you know Carnival, right? In Carnival, we've had a lot, we could say that we get a lot of problems when it comes to knife crime, and we get a lot of problems with other things. I just really want to highlight the power of collaboration this year. You know, you see this year here, there was no serious injuries in Carnival regarding knives, and there was no murders regarding knives. But what there was 46 people arrested, and was that right? How many bladed articles got found in Carnival this year? How many bladed articles? It's 32? So I think 46 people arrested, 32. And guys, would you believe if I say to you, 2 of them people that had knives were registered sex offenders? So I'm just saying, think about it, Carnival, a place where people party and enjoy themselves. And the fact that the local authorities, along with artificial intelligence in terms of the facial recognition cameras, I know a lot of people. Guys, what do you think of facial recognition cameras? I think that's a question. Guys, who's for facial recognition?
Hands up if you agree with facial recognition.
Hands up if you don't. Why? Okay. Can I have someone that don't mind facial recognition, and why? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Personally, I feel in today's day and age, like, you don't know who has your face. And like with the internet and the government and everything, like, I feel like your face is just everywhere and anywhere, whether you know or not. And like personally, I've been like going to carnival almost my entire life with like my mum. And the way that like crime and like knife crime and everything has gone down significantly this year, I feel like the facial recognition like isn't that bad if it actually has a good impact.
Yeah, now guys, I just wanted to get everyone's what they feel about facial recognition. But I just say, you know, guys, 2025, we're going into technology. And me personally, just for instance, if there was someone that weren't supposed to be around my young children for a certain reason, you know, I'd like to know. But as I say, I feel like different situations for different people will mean different things. But guys, once again, I think it's an amazing event that people, do you know what, to see so many people in one place regarding knife crime, I think that in itself says a lot. So guys, keep winning. And who's going to win this football match? Yeah? You sure? Yeah? What's up, brother? You right? You want to say something? Oh, you're going to win, yeah? Big out yourself. Has anybody got any questions for anything in there today? Anyone got any questions? We're good. Guys, let's rock.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Okay, so some of you will have to be leaving for the football. The rest of you can mingle in here, eat as much food as you can. Take water. If you're going to be playing football, take a bottle of water. And yeah, take some food. And thank you all for coming. Huh? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah. And thank you all for coming. We haven't finished. We'll see you outside. And it's pitch 6 that we're going to. Thank you. It's this camera here. Can you see? Oh. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it's just asking you if you can just tell us how you felt about the event went today.
Okay. Yeah. It's a very good event. I'm a criminal defence solicitor, so this is quite beneficial for me to be at, to have a better insight as to what's happening, especially in the neighbourhood. And it's a really great organisation, great cause, bringing everyone together and bringing the awareness. So I think it's quite fab. Yeah.
Maybe, we'll see. It's a long...
I'm very happy to be part of this. I'm very happy to be part of this team today. It all well, very successful. Come and say what you were saying. And I'm going to hand it now to Nita. Come here, Nita. Come here, Nita. What you were telling me, just say it on the camera.
About the police? Yeah. On the mic?
Yeah.
No, say. I was just saying that stop and search, when it's done capriciously, you know, young men, they feel humiliated, they feel embarrassed, you know, if they're just minding their own business and they get stop and searched, you know. So if it's done capriciously, you just look at a young, for instance, me personally, every black man I know has been stop and searched. Even my nephew, who is, you know, the most mild-mannered, good person you would ever meet, he's been stop and searched. And it's embarrassing, it's humiliating. And, you know, you feel like your dignity is being taken. So, yeah, that's what I feel about stop and search. I think it should be stopped. That's what I think.
Thank you very much. Keep saying. I'm just going to look for someone else that wants to say something. Have you got anything to say about the meeting today?
I beg your pardon?
Have you got anything to say about the meeting today?
I think it's absolutely wonderful. I thought it was brilliant the way that Ruth brought together all these people and these young people, and Abdul Rahman as well. And I thought the messages were really, really important and brilliant. And it was a privilege to be here.
Thank you. Who wants to start?
Not really. Yeah, it was. No. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't.
Okay.
I'm happy to be part of this. It's wonderful. Oma Anna, that was beautiful, a very beautiful experience, and so educative, so enriching, learning something about the Metropolitan Police. It's wonderful. So we are saying this to everyone, try to be part of this. Are you excited?
Very, very excited.
Very excited. So are you proud of your daughter, Ruth? Are you proud of her?
Say it again?
Are you proud of your daughter, Ruth?
I'm very proud of Ruth. I'm very, very proud. Very, very proud.
She's a convener of all this.
Yeah, she's blessed.
She has been doing this for how long?
2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when she showed interest in the vision? How did you feel when she told you first about the whole thing? How did you feel?
I was very proud, and for all that she's going through, she's strong to be doing what she's doing. I was very proud.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.